Hello everyone, welcome to Desert Succulent, and today let's talk about Sedum Clavatum. This kind of succulent is very attractive and is easy to care for, and they can usually be a good ground cover na plant. In addition to that one, pwede din natin ilagay yung ating mga clavatum sa ating mga hanging baskets or any pots that you wish. Our Sedum Clavatum can grow up to 4 inches tall, and in front of us nga I have here my Sedum Clavatum na 4 months under my care, and you would see how fast it really grew. Like for example this one, I think it's more than 4 inches already, and their leaves are also very unique. Yung color is parang pale green and it is coated with this farina. So yung nakikita ninyong parang white powder sa kanilang leaves are the farina. Although if you will be comparing it to other succulents, hindi ganon kakapal yung kanilang mga farina, but still it really gives our succulent this parang matte na looking. Yung kanilang rosette may be up to 2 inches wide, and this is I guess 1.5 inches, so we will be expecting na lalaki pa itong kanyang pinaka-rosette. We will also be expecting na yung kanilang tips ng kanilang leaves will appear to be pinkish or reddish in color like what you are seeing right now as a result of stressing. So yun yung excessively low or high temperature. So dito naman sa Pilipinas, we really don't have those extra cold na temperatures. Kaya the only way for us to stress itong ating mga Sedum Clavatum is yung high temperatures, which is very ideal sa Philippines, which is a tropical na country. And yung ating mga Sedum Clavatum, yung kanilang stems are stout, ayan o, matataba sila. As you would see here, and around nga dito sa kanilang stems, doon tumutubo yung ating mga rosettes. They will also give us these white flowers, and it's characterized as small and very compact sila na star shape, and usually nagblue-bloom sila these dry season. So if mapapansin niyo, if you have Sedum Clavatum, you might notice na sa mga panahon ngayon ang daming flower stalks na tumutubo sa kanila. Like for example, in this case, we have 1, 2, 3. Even dito sa taas, ayan, top view, we have those flowers. We also have this one that is just about to bloom, and even if hindi pa siya nag-bloom, you would really see na star shape na talaga yung kanyang pinaka-bud. In terms of their light requirements, they prefer nga yung ating partial shade to full sun. I think they are not really a good candidate for growing indoors, kasi nga itong species ng sedum na ito need a minimum of 6 hours of sunlight daily, and I usually put nga itong ating Sedum Clavatum doon sa ating mini greenhouse sa rooftop, kung saan nga all day long it's really receiving yung ating sunlight. So I'm not really having a problem with ethylation. Ayan, you would really see na yung kanilang pinaka-rosettes are still very compact. Ayan siya. So, we also need to be extra careful if you will be exposing them to direct sunlight. It should be gradually, or else it could lead to the sunburn ng kanilang mga leaves. And watering wise nitong ating mga clavatum, we have to water them deeply and seldomly. So, kumbaga, we will just be waiting for the soil to completely dry before watering itong ating Sedum Clavatum. And before, I have featured this one doon sa ating aerial roots ng ating mga succulents. Sobrang dami nitong aerial roots before, and that na would indicate na kulang na siya sa tubig. So I think right now medyo okay na yung itsura ng ating clavatum. Look at those aerial roots, ito na lang yung natira, and even itong mga ito nag-dry na rin yung mga old na aerial roots, and seldom you would see new aerial roots na tumutubo sa kanya. So ito na lang yung mga remaining. You have the option of trimming itong mga ito, but if you really don't care about this one, then you can just leave it here. Anyway, it won't be harmful sa ating mga clavatum. And again, if you see aerial roots sa inyong mga succulents, it means na kulang na sila sa tubig, and therefore we have to water them more deeply. I use the blended type of pag-fertilize itong ating clavatum. So upon repotting, I added osmo coat sa kanyang soil. I'm not sure if you can still see it, but ayun. So yung parang mga yellow doon Ayan mga yan, those are our Osmocote. They are controlled release fertilizers that are good for 3 to 4 months. At the same time, I do fertilize this one with a low balance NPK. Yun nga yung ating Harvest King. And yes, every month ko siyang ginagawa. I just fertilized this one last month. So if you've been watching my vlogs before, you would really see the big difference nung ating Sedum Clavatum sa ngayon. And itong ating mga stems na ito na nakakalbo, ganyan na talaga siya dati. Pinabayaan ko na lang siya, hindi ko na lang siya tinanggal kasi it gives us more parang depth sa ating plant. So yung iba mas mataas, yung iba mas mababa. But nevertheless, yung mga nasa pinakagitna, those are all the new offsets natin. As with all cactus and succulents, well-draining and airy soil is best for our Sedum Clavatums. Yung original na ginamit kong soil mix for this one is yung ating 90% pumice stones and 10% na vermicompost, and that didn't work well. Ang papayat ng ating mga succulents and sobrang bagal ng kanilang growth. Until 2 months ago, I decided to use yung ating DIY na soil mix. I just use, I guess, 30% ng ating pumice stones, and the remaining is yung ating vermicompost and yung ating cocoa peat. And look at the result. Even doon sa pinakaloob, ang daming maliliit na offsets, and I really don't know kung paano sila lalaki since talagang nasa pinakaloob yung growth. Siksik na siksik siya until doon sa pinakaloob. But nevertheless, papabayaan lang natin siyang ganyan, and let's see what's gonna happen to it. For its grooming and maintenance, we need to trim away any damage or yung ating mga withered leaves. Or for example, yung ating mga flower stalks, after flowering is complete, then we have to trim them. In my case, I have trimmed some of them already. And here, for example, ayan, so tapos na lang mag-flower itong part na to. So I will just simply cut itong kanyang flowers. Oh, hindi ko na siya na-cut. Humiwalay na siya ng kusa sa kanyang pinaka-stem. So ito, we can just simply throw it away. But actually, you can also get itong leaves na ito and we can propagate them kasi sayang naman. It's very easy to propagate nga itong ating Sedum Clavatum. So you can make use of leaf propagations and stem cuttings. Yun yung pinaka-favorite ko. I will show you this one. Ito yung ating Sedum Clavatum. So when I first got itong ating mga Sedum Clavatum, I decided to propagate some of them. So these are the stem cuttings. So we have 3 cuttings here, 1, 2, 3. And so far, they are doing great. And here, see, may bago na rin siyang growth itong pinaka-stem na ito. We have another tiny offsets doon banda sa likod nagtatago. And yes, we were now able to successfully propagate itong ating imported Sedum Clavatum. Sobrang dali lang nilang i-propagate. And also, I wanted to show you yung cutting na pinagputulan natin sa kanya. Dito tayo kumuha ng cutting before. Ayan. So, nag-callus over na siya. And I guess itong mga offsets na to are already 2 months old. Ayan. See? Ang bilis talaga nilang lumaki as compared to other succulents. And sa ngayon, I will try to cut another stem cutting for propagation. I'll just propagate this part kasi medyo nakahiga na rin siya. Ayan, so that's it. All we need to do is air dry this for a couple of days. Then if it's completely dry, then we can simply transfer it or replant it sa kanyang bagong soil. This is my very first na Sedum Clavatum, and hindi naman pala siya ganun kahirap alagaan. It's even easier as compared to my other succulents. In terms of some pests or diseases, itong ating mga sedums are also called yung ating stone crop because they are very tough and they do seldom experience few diseases or pest problems as long as they will be receiving yung sufficient sunlight and the right amount of water. And the most common nga ng kanilang pagkasira or pagkabulok is yung excessive amount of water, especially ngayong summer. I guess na we kept on watering them even if na yung kanilang pinaka-soil is not completely dry. Kasi sometimes we just assess itong pinaka-top na layer without really realizing na doon sa pinaka-loob is still very wet. And one way for me to check if talagang completely dry yung kanilang soil is that parang humihiwalay na yung soil sa kanilang container. So it means na talagang dry na siya, not just on the outer surface or the outer layer ng soil, but even from the inside is dry na siya. And that's the time that I will be watering itong ating Sedum Clavatum. Itong ating Sedum Clavatum is non-toxic and therefore safe naman siya for our pets and for our kids. And that's all for our care guide. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You may also visit our Facebook page at Desert Succulent PH.